Kohi Beans, the best anime podcast that's streamed live on Twitch.
Welcome. Hi.
That's Alina.
This is Alina. That's Josh. This is our roundtable. Roundtable?
Yes.
Roundtable anime podcast.
Why do you have such a problem with that phrase?
I've never heard it before.
Roundtable podcast? It just means people talking of like a forum, like an open conversation.
Never listened to podcasts.
You've never heard
recently.
the phrase round table?
No.
Knights of the Round. The best summoning in Final Fantasy VII.
What? They're in Final Fantasy?
Oh my god. Get me out of here. Get me a new co-host.
Sorry. Alright, but welcome.
Yep, thanks for coming. Today is about the deres, but first, let's do our little free talk.
Alright.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that Pokemon video.
Yes.
We have to talk about that awesome Pokemon video.
Mm-hmm.
That music video. What was it? Who was the band?
Bump of Chicken.
Bump of Chickens.
They've done some very wonderful anime collabs and other commercial collabs. They did that chocolate one too. I think Ghana chocolate, the one that's in konbinis in Japan. They had a really good collab for that one. They did the One Piece cup noodle one. I can't remember if it's actually cup noodle or if that was like the first one and they did a follow-up.
I only remember the One Piece one. Wait, you'll call it the cup noodle one, but you won't call it the One Piece one?
I said the One Piece cup noodle one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did.
I thought you just said the cup noodle one.
You guys back me up. I did.
We'll roll it back later.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll show you. But yeah, that the one today or yesterday, depending on which time zone you're in, was wonderful. A nice.
Okay, we'll play a little bit.
Yeah, we'll play a little bit.
I'll edit this out later so I don't get copyright striked.
Can't we just talk over it?
Yeah, actually we could. I remember that. The high school AU one, yeah.
Yes.
Talking about the One Piece.
The One Piece AU one with the cup noodle at the very end.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I watched it over and over. I have the song from. I like Bump of Chicken, so it's on my Spotify list. Yeah, but this one I think has a different artistic director, and you can tell it's very different series too, and it's still set in the Pokemon world. So we think.
What, this music video?
Yeah.
Oh.
You always talk about that one movie scene where it's like not a Pokemon universe. And how that freaks you out.
Yeah, where he goes into the real world and like Pokemon don't exist.
Yeah, and
that bothers me.
I mean, yeah, that was really weird. It's like I feel like I'm missing something. You see the Pikachu like ghost pop up, but then it's gone. Yeah, that was weird. Talking about the previous movie in Pokemon, the latest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, let's look at some of today's new Bump of Chicken gotcha.
Yeah,
videos.
we'll watch it, but sorry, you won't get to enjoy it fully. We can talk over it instead.
Yeah, I've retweeted it on our Twitter, and you can search it up on YouTube too. But please take a look later if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, plus you can watch it in 1080p full screen.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, so this scene, I heard there's a reference to a movie called Stand By Me.
Yeah, about the 4 kids who want to see a dead body, so they go on a train. They go walk on the train tracks.
That's a lot more messed up than I expected.
Yeah, they're like want to see a dead body, so they all go on an adventure. These 4 kids from the same town.
Why? That's terrible.
Don't judge. Yeah, these characters are unaffiliated.
Well, they always do that for.
I'm gonna put the volume down just a pinch on the video.
Yeah, we can see all the different gym leader types in the background. It's really cute.
Oh yeah, these are categorized by types, but I mean the most important thing to get here is the animation, the crispy.
It's cool.
The crispy transitions.
It's very quick, but it doesn't feel out of place or like too much taken. Like it keeps your what do you call it? Your perspective or like eye position straight.
It does. It's not like a pain to watch. It doesn't make me like dizzy.
Yeah, even though there's a lot.
Everything that matters is like in the center of the screen, and later you can just like watch it in slow mo. Honestly, I recommend watching it in like super slow mo. Also weird, but they put a lot of what do you call it? They put a lot of screen time for like 5th, 6th, and 7th gen compared to the first few gens, which really like I was like, why?
I mean, probably because it's newer, right?
Maybe
more
they're
younger generations of kids are gonna enjoy it more.
yeah, maybe they're getting the age range right. They're like, oh, who likes Bump of Chicken? Like teenagers.
Teenagers,
And
yeah.
then like, which ones did the teenagers play? Oh, Black, White,
All the later ones.
until Sun Moon.
But I mean, it's so cute.
Here's the Gallers.
I like that her Morpeko pushes her to smile, and that transition to the main character.
Yeah, but this video is so awesome.
These really funny Eevee and Pikachu's too.
They're pretty weird. They're definitely gonna sell figurines.
I love it. It's definitely based on like someone's art style. Oh, we got all the different trees.
Yep.
Professor.
We've got foliage,
We got our protagonist for this video.
baggy pants.
They're not like the Pokemon Masters card tag, right?
No,
There
they're
is
not.
one.
No.
And there's a lot of side
There's like some,
cameos.
yeah, there's some references that I don't even know from these other things.
Not really. Just kidding. Now there's a lot to take in, lots of Easter eggs. Yeah, and then it's back to
But yep.
castle theme. Yeah, it's cute.
That was basically it.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty sick though. It was a nice random drop this morning
Yeah.
to have watched it.
It's great. I wonder what they're supposed to advertise for, maybe? If it's like a specific project they're working on. Or just, for fun. I mean, Bump of Chicken did One Piece for whatever reason, too.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, anyway, hopefully you enjoyed watching that. If you did watch it, I mean, you could have just opened up a tab yourself, found the video, watched it, and come back to this. If so,
Smart.
nice. Yeah, smart.
But thanks for listening, too.
Yeah, I mean, for viewers' convenience, we'll put it up as well whenever we talk about.
Yeah, whenever we can,
Specific
but we'll
video.
have to go over it so we don't get too much copyright.
But yeah, where was all the gens 1 through 4?
They had every gen a
Where
little
was
bit.
Where was Dawn?
Was she not there at all?
I don't think she was there at all. She might have been in the silhouettes of all the trainers, but I don't think she had like a little special cameo
Oh,
part
like some of
like
them?
most people do.
That's true. But I don't know. It goes really fast, so I can't really tell for some of them. Was there anyone else we were missing? Oh, I heard a Leaf was missing, or like Chris?
We saw Leaf for a little. Actually, no,
We
they
did?
replaced her with Lyra because she replaces her in Fire Red and Leaf Green, right?
Was Lyra there too? Probably with
Only
the
Lyra
silhouettes.
was there. I don't think Leaf was there.
Oh, I mean that makes sense, but I still don't remember seeing her. I mean, they glazed over, like you said, the first couple of gens.
Yummy.
Except for that cool gold versus red fight.
Yeah.
That was a lot of animation. I wonder how long it took them to make this. Probably a long time.
Whoever they paid, pay them more.
Yeah, they deserve more, all of them. Alright. But yeah, Bump of Chicken. It's also subtitles in 9 languages. Wow, that's pretty neat. Alright. Anything else?
What, for our free talk in general?
Yeah.
I don't know. You got anything?
I did retweet something I saw today that I'm personally excited about. Is some new manga series are starting in Shonen Jump Plus, which I had to double check is the online, like digital only free one that you can get, and comes out on Sunday in our timeline or time zone timeline. Mondays in Japan, and it just means the online one where you get the first 3 chapters free and the latest 3 free. So I've been using that to read, but there's some new mangas coming out, and one of them is by the Katekyo Hitman Reborn, or Hitman Reborn mangaka, and it's been 7 years since her last work, so I'm kind of interested. But I'm also scared because I've never gone back to reread it, because as a lot of cliches that I know I would hate now as an adult. But maybe her new one's better, so we'll see.
7 years is a lot for a creator to age.
Well,
you know?
she had another series. I think it got an anime, but I never got interested in it. So this new one, I retweeted it from the Weekly Shonen Jump unofficial Twitter account. They have a lot of interesting info. It's about a detective series, so I'll just wait to see. It comes out next month. And also, supposedly One Piece is going to reach its 1000th chapter by the end of this year.
Awesome.
But there's supposedly there are hints saying that there's going to be a 2-week hiatus for breaks or whatever.
Not surprised.
Yeah. And I think they also said in an interview of Oda recently, he wants to do 3 chapters every month. So like a 1-week break each month. Or like 2 every 3 weeks. I don't know. Something like that. So expect a lot more One Piece breaks.
More breaks?
Yeah, like every month there's gonna be like a break.
I thought that indicated less breaks.
Oh, I don't know. I thought that indicated that he's there's 1 week a month he's not gonna release something to like rest up or like build up stuff.
Has he made it a month straight recently?
I can't remember. Actually,
I can't remember.
Well, you don't read it weekly.
I've got 2 manga that are constantly on breaks, like every other week or so.
Just 2?
Yeah, only 2. I've got One Piece and I've got Hajime no Ippo.
I waited months for some series. Come on.
I know you're the manga superior. You're the manga supreme.
Nah, just
blessed
some of them
be
take
she.
a long time. But yeah, so we'll see what happens to One Piece too.
It's just like the reason I can't remember the last One Piece hiatus is because I'm watching 2 that constantly go on break.
You also don't like read weekly when it comes out. You just wait till you remember to read it.
Yeah, it's healthy.
I guess. I mean, I just look forward.
You're borderline obsessed.
I just see someone else retweet it, and I'm like, oh sweet, let me read the new manga this week.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that.
And I used to be
just
really
pops
obsessed.
up in my head. I'm like, what happened to One Piece? Like, I can't even recall the last time I read a chapter. Actually,
it was probably like last week.
Might have been like 2 weeks, maybe 3.
Oh, maybe. I do tell you when it's out, but read at your own pace, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Shall we end that for free talk?
Yeah, that was a good free talk. We even got a little video in there. That's nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving into today's main topic, the deres.
Deres.
So maybe we should do a little, not recap, but a little basic explanation of the deres for anyone, and just to set it up. You want to do that?
How about we alternate?
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we should start with the word. I explained it a little bit in some like social media, but dere or deredere means like lovey-dovey, lovey, love-struck, kind of like just an onomatopoeia for like loving, right? And in anime now, in the fandom, we started making the terminology or tropes to a certain kind of personality plus dere.
It's an archetype.
Yeah, it's an archetype. So
but if you're just dere, you're not a mix of 2 things. You're just
that's true.
Always in love.
Yeah, well, they'll call that deredere, yeah. But the other ones like tsundere, or half dere. It's all like they're like Sour Patch Kids, where it's like sweet on the inside, something else on the outside.
What a reference! Your base tsundere is the Sour Patch Kid commercials.
I mean, is it wrong? Is it wrong?
You're not wrong. That's just
go.
The best way I've ever heard a tsundere be introduced. You know those Sour Patch Kids commercials?
Sour
the ones where they do a prank and then they feel bad so they hug you? That's a tsundere.
That's so true though. At least in my opinion.
I mean, that is a poignant description.
See, very easy to understand.
That was quite good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so those are your basic tsundere. With Tsundere means you're like what, disgusted or like kind of snotty on the outside.
No, it just means you're like. There's sometimes where they snub you instead of just always
right.
being
Kind of
in
like
love.
Hard to get or like. What do you say? Like, oh, and specifically, dere, the like caring part of the personality is supposed to come and play when the person they talk to is one they have a crush on or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like the people they interact with, but usually it's the protagonist, right?
Look, we all know what I mean,
I'm
assuming if you're watching an anime podcast, you're not some like noob.
No, but I just wanted to, start off with some info.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea to go through it, but I mean, I think we can chop through this a little quicker. Like, a tsundere is
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids, yeah. Tsundere is the Sour Patch Kid commercials, fleshed out into anime.
Oh, speaking of, I put that little poll on Twitter to see like what kind of dere character people liked. And I'm surprised Tsundere didn't win, actually.
Tsundere is honestly my least favorite of the deres.
I feel like I see it the most often. That's why.
Yeah, it's everywhere, and you know, it's.
But Kuudere one, interestingly enough.
Kuudere.
The like cold, like not so introverted one.
You're gonna have to.
I think who what like Tachibana from Angel Beats.
That's a good one.
That's like the most common one everyone talks about. It's like not like they're mean. They're just like emotionally or personality wise kind of distant. But then they warm up to
They're not all there.
Yeah, they're not all there. Not in like an airhead way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah,
I don't really. I'm like completely neutral to Kuuderes. I like don't care, but I don't hate them either.
I think it's because they're more bearable than Tsunderes.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on like who are the people seeing that our audience, I'm guessing that's why. More bearable.
More bearable.
I mean, Tsunderes are kind of in fiction, it's okay to appreciate, I think, but in real life and like other forms, it's too cringy, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And there's also a point I thought with why are almost all the deres always female characters? You know, we always associate it with a female character.
I don't know, because the majority of anime consumers are male.
I don't know if that's the majority is true though.
Oh hell yeah, it's still true.
You think?
Maybe not among Western communities. Maybe not. But it's still pretty dead set in Japan, and Japan's the one that sets the sets the standard for what content will be coming out. You know.
I guess so, yeah. But they do have a lot of like other growing bases of manga and so maybe it will change soon, or it already has changed. We just don't really know about it or hear about it. I mean, there are male dere types, but you just don't really hear them as like the iconic example as much.
Roly Roly Poly says, I think a lot of Ikemen guys are Kuuderes.
Ooh,
that's true.
That's true. I can think of some tsundere males though.
Yeah, actually, I was reading the Wikipedia page for tsundere, and it was like some people believe that tsunderes are a female thing, but actually, there's quite a few male tsunderes out there, and it was like Germany from Hitalia is a tsundere or something.
No, they're wrong.
Maybe
it
wasn't
Germany.
Maybe it was a different
England.
character.
It has to be England.
Was it England?
Yeah,
Here, let me see.
Why do I know this? It's
Why?
England.
Why?
Because he is a guy who's like, I don't need you guys, and then in the background he goes and like cries by himself, and he's like, I'm so sad.
Here, no, look. The character Germany from the series Hitalia Axis Powers is portrayed as being tsundere, and is paired with a lovable loser. Italy Venezanio.
They are incorrect. Also, you don't include their last name unless it's their human name.
Damn, I didn't realize Wikipedia would be poking you with a stick so hard about Hitalia.
Well, I mean, sure, Germany can be tsundere, specifically from Italia, not the real country. But usually it's England that's the tsundere one, according to the fandom at least, based on my own experience. Germany would be like the Kuudere one, actually.
Hold on, before we click this blue hyperlink that says the character Germany, do you think this links to the page with the character or with the country?
Country.
The country?
Ah, shit.
It's the character.
Oh, but it's on the same page. It just links to the bottom part about characters.
No, it doesn't. That was the tsundere article.
Oh, you're right. Dang it.
This is a new page.
Italia page. All right. I hope you guys haven't seen Italia. Please don't.
Don't.
It's.
Why not?
It's well, okay. I just mean don't, but like, the fandom is really weird, considering it's about history. But the main content itself and like how creative you can get with it is really neat. Like, I learned a lot about history from reading a ton of fan fiction, but like sometimes it gets really weird, and like other issues, and it is stereotyping. The whole manga is a parody, the anime is a parody.
Do you think it's just a bunch of deres, in actuality?
Yeah, I could kind of believe that. I mean, yeah, there's no like, it's basically a stereotype parody, so they all have to kind of be deres in their own way.
Is it a parody? Oh, the parody of their country, I guess.
It's a parody of their country, so that character is like kind of dere.
It's a parody of the countries, but it's a serious work.
Yeah, but the author, that's some issues with it.
Do they have a Japan?
Of course they do. The narrator is Japan, the main character.
I see.
But see, that's called Hitalia Axis Powers. Like, there's some like South Korea is not pleased with this one. Also, the portrayal of South Korea. I mean, every country's portrayal isn't great, you know. Like America's always talking about nuking and like fast food and hamburgers. You know, it's all
Accurate.
stereotypes. So yeah, kind of accurate.
Shockingly
but, you know,
accurate.
Like you have to take it with a grain of salt. But all right, what are we talking about? Male. There's a lot of tsunderes.
Yeah, that was a little subsection about male deres.
I'm just saying, yeah, like there's too many female specific ones. There are male, like if you Google it, right, tsundere, it's all female characters. And some of the most classic ones being Tosakarin or like the Toradora. What's her name? Forgot.
Oh, Taiga.
Oh, Taiga, right? Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't watch that one.
It is. And how they're all voiced by the same voice actor, Rie Kugiyama.
Oh yeah, doesn't she do all the tsunderes?
She does all the famous ones. Although she's also done Alphonse from Fullmetal Alchemist. Apparently,
he's a tsundere. I'm just kidding. Cold armor on the outside, warm heart on the inside.
No, there's nothing inside.
Oh, yeah, tsunderes.
Nothing. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing on the inside. Although some people do say the anime portrayal is what makes Rin tsundere and isn't as accurate to the light novel, or not the light novel, the visual novel. But I haven't played it, so can't really say much there. All right, so what else about the deres?
Do we have any more deres to go through?
There's a shit ton of deres.
Okay, well, how
about the Yandere? Your favorite?
Yeah.
For some reason,
I'm a bit of a sucker for the Yandere, just because it was like my entry. One of my entries into anime was Mirai Nikki.
What a choice!
Look, I was 14 once. All right, you were 14 once. You liked Hitalia. I can see. I can like Mirai Nikki. No shame.
All right, so what about it?
Well, yanderes are killers. Not killers, but they're sadistic. Right. Definitely sadistic.
So the basis is the yandere, which apparently means like emotionally or mentally ill. Not a great terminology or translation.
Yeah, they're kind of like sadistic and also like mentally unstable. No, I would say not mentally unstable. That's not a good way to say it.
That's not a good way of saying it, but it's kind of how it's portrayed in anime. Not great, but it's like in terms of obsessed. Too much. In terms of their like the ones they like focus their attention of, you know?
Yeah, they're like the dere part is that they're in love with somebody, but the soon part is that, or the yan part is that they're so obsessed that it's like almost unhealthy, or they'll do literally anything, borderline crazy anything. Shit.
Yeah,
and that's my favorite. I don't know.
Should I be worried?
I can kind of explain like why I like yanderes compared to like tsunderes or whatever.
Sure, I guess.
Like the idea of yandere is that the person has so much love that like it kind of breaks like the borders around everything else. Like their love starts to take over their morals. It starts to take over their kind of sense of like societal limits, you know, like, oh, don't murder people. Oh, but my love is so great. That's why I tend to like yanderes, because I feel like it maximizes on the character being in love. Maybe it's just infatuation in some cases. Then that person's just crazy. But I don't know, a love so deep you're willing to break societal ties, or like, you know, I feel like that's stronger than tsundere. I feel like tsundere is like the opposite, where that person's like view of society is, or view of their role, their self in society or whatever, is limiting how they can show their love to someone else. So it's not indicative of whether that love is stronger or not. That's just how I perceive it when I see it. That was a lot deeper than I thought it'd go. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yandere is like Yandere is like extreme love to the point where it goes past a point. But tsundere is like a love where it can't break past a certain point.
Okay.
Yeah, because that person's just too concerned with their self-image or something. Yeah, so for me, that's a big fundamental difference. Kuudere, I don't know where that goes. That one confuses me. Like,
there's also like
I don't have an idea for that one yet.
that one's just like someone you don't really know. I think, or like they're introverted or something. Well, actually, I think introverted is supposed to be the Yandere, which is like Hinata from Naruto, like shy with the one that they like, and they don't know how to like interact. But
yeah, that one's okay.
you know, like past these couple ones, like these four, there's a lot, but
they're
I don't
way
think
more specialized, aren't they?
yeah, or just like it just falls into the same trope. Like I looked it up, and there's like Dere, the sadistic dere, and I'm like, okay, hold up, we don't need to go this far.
Sadistic.
Or like the Hime dere, like I'm gonna be like, treat me like I'm royalty or something like that, you know? Or like, actually, I saw one that said Kami dere, and it showed Light from Death Note.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this one's not. But I mean, yeah, there's a ton of different archetypes of characters. And I saw some blogs say this mostly started in the early 2000s. Like, their claim was that, like, before then, like the 1960s, they didn't have so much of these archetypes. Yeah. What do you think?
Are you ready?
All right, sure, bring it.
All right.
Mr. I read an academic paper about this.
So earlier today, when I was like not researching, but just brushing up on the topic for this episode, I came across this book. Well, I mean, it's kind of a book, and it's kind of like just an academic paper, really. Or collection thesis? Of academic papers as well. It's called Otaku by, what's his name? Hiroki Azuma.
Oh, it's translated.
Yeah, basically, I was like really interested in like asking like why are there dere characters in the first place? Like, why does anime need this?
Yeah, why do we need it?
Why? Like,
tell me.
Well, basically in Otaku, he uses a lot of like philosophical theories or media theories to kind of unpack like what happened to anime, and a lot of sources point to Evangelion for some reason.
Okay, so that's when
a lot of it sources from Evangelion.
Wait, what about before Evangelion?
Before Evangelion, yes.
What do you mean? What do you mean they mean by like what happened to anime? Like just changes in like a certain point where it had a major change?
So basically, if you look at almost any book about anime, they'll talk about like Evangelion being a changing point. It's just like the market changing. There was like a sudden explosion of characters that were just like Ayanami Rei, and there weren't many like her before. So she's almost she's like extremely original compared to other characters like nowadays.
She's the one with the white hair, right?
Blue hair.
Blue hair. Sorry,
she has the blue hair, white skin. Yeah. She's like one of the original, or maybe the original Kuudere.
And the Asuka is like the Tsundere, right? Or something like that. Okay, tell me more, since I didn't read it.
Yeah. So basically, the Evangelion point aside, that's just where a lot of the signs start pointing to.
After Evangelion,
anime fans,
before Evangelion.
According to this paper, anime fans are united by two things. Really, what we're doing is one, we're taking in a database of traits and plot lines.
Okay.
So, as any anime fan, basically when you become an anime fan, or like, you know, you start saying like, I'm a weeb.
Oh God.
You basically accept that you understand a database of character traits and plot lines that are easily like seen in anime, and like your relationships with other people start to be defined by both of you knowing this database.
Okay, so kind of like a fandom that understands certain terminology that relates to what they're interested in.
Precisely, like
fan fiction and our terminology.
Yeah. I mean, even simpler. It's like, let's say I've said I'm a fan of Pokemon, and like there's another person that's a fan of Pokemon. Then our social relationship, or like a very strong line of our relationship, is knowing the Pokemon, knowing different Pokemon, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's how fandom is made. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So So basically, in general, anime fans all accept this really big universal database of parts of shows and characters. That's one thing that we're connected by.
Okay.
The second thing that we're connected by is we are looking for emotional, not kind of like emotional release. We're looking for
escapism.
It's not really. It's kind of like escapism. It's we're looking to be moved by fiction.
But isn't like everyone reading fiction kind of like that?
No.
Okay.
So this isn't this wasn't the case before. Basically before this kind of desire to be moved emotionally, stories weren't actually like that. Like in the before postmodernism. So like, you know, like 50s and 40s or so, maybe before that.
We're going deep here.
Yeah, this is like regular film theory at this point. This isn't even like specifically anime, but you can put it in an anime context.
Oh, really? Is it because like literature and stuff was like more higher class and not as available
No.
for them?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
So basically, stories were designed to give you a grand narrative. And the grand narrative is this really it's a hard term to explain, but in the shortest way I could say it, it's giving you a worldview.
Okay.
So stories are meant to give you a sense of the world, or a new way of understanding the world.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Like, for example, like, I don't know, go to like Hamlet or something from Shakespeare. Hamlet has a plot, and you know, it's kind of sad. I mean, are you really sad by Hamlet? Like, these people randomly dying a few hours later?
Yeah, sex
on
for
the
Hamlet.
screen. Yeah, like, you don't you're not like completely in it for the emotion. But the grand narrative of Hamlet is that not everybody is outward with their beliefs. They're not outward with their real selves. That's what you learn in Hamlet. That Hamlet lies, right? He lies to his parents. He pretends to be normal and like cool with all the situation, when really he's suffering on the inside, and just sucks for Hamlet. 1609. Yeah. Sucks for Hamlet.
Sucks to be you. Rip, I'm different.
Rip Hamlet. But yeah.
Now,
so
for a second I was like, what are you talking about? This is not what I talked about when I wrote my Hamlet essay in like 12th grade.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, so really, Hamlet is trying to impart this worldview. That's its end goal. It's not to make you sad or cry when somebody dies in the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shakespeare's a pretty good example. Like, you're not expected to be like moved terribly by people dying, but you're supposed to accept this worldview,
this drama unfold.
Yeah. And after like when postmodernism hit, and you know, people stopped accepting like traditional worldviews, you know, like after like the 60s or so.
Yeah, counterculture
time, you know, things feel like they're failing. Like family values are falling apart. They're becoming very different than what they used to be, like nuclear families and all that.
And now
so going back to what unites anime fans is our desire to be moved by fiction because reality has failed to move us. Because the grand narrative has failed, basically, and like these worldviews don't make sense to us. You know, like, oh, nuclear family, strong ties to family, stuff like that. Certain parts of it have failed for us. This is what the paper is like saying. I'm not exactly agreeing with that. But at the end, anime has gone from trying to be grand narrative, telling you about how to perceive the world, to small narrative, which is just focusing on getting that emotional release in the work.
Kind of some escapism, but
kind
of.
It's just
focusing on more emotion than like.
Yeah,
it's an adventure.
It's not trying to impart anything of value from the work, from the work itself to the real world,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really there. It's not really trying to give you a line of understanding.
Okay.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, our understanding of a database and wanting to feel these emotions are what make anime fans anime fans.
Okay. But what about these dere and archetypes?
Right. Let's get there.
Alright.
Okay.
I mean, you could say that some anime, I mean, always goes back to
So,
real life.
the big thing about Evangelion
Mm-hmm.
was that it was incredibly successful,
Mm-hmm.
despite not being from like a big studio or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it like impacted a lot of it made a lot of new fans.
Yeah. It had a really large audience.
Yeah. So I kind of lost where I'm going.
Should I hit you with a question or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What can I ask?
Oh. Yeah. Here we go.
Also,
Okay,
if you guys
so this
have ideas,
database,
bring it back.
yeah, the database that we're all moving around
Mm-hmm.
is basically character parts, and Evangelion is the one to get it right and to be super successful.
Mm-hmm.
So from like a market perspective, like all other anime after Evangelion try to be like Evangelion because it's become a recipe for success.
Like a standard kind of.
Yeah, because it's super successful.
Mm-hmm.
So what basically happened is like storytellers like subconsciously
Mm-hmm.
like deconstructed Evangelion into parts, and then those parts are now being used to make everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we expect out of an anime. Oh, Tsundere, Kuudere, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Those like the idea of taking parts from just a different anime, a different successful anime, and just reconfiguring it in a different setting. That started after Evangelion
Mm-hmm.
because it was such a booming success,
Right.
and it had like easily recreatable pieces.
Yeah, we talked about this on our last episode too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we did.
All right, so from that we get the dere types.
Yeah, basically, here I can read this little quote that I have. It's precisely these consistent attributes or elements of characters that people are consuming and producing in the otaku cultural realm. These elements are carefully typologized and classified, organized into databases. These databases can be implicit. People can implicitly cue a classifactory scheme by invoking more or less salient classifactory distinctions, like the attitudinal contrast between soon distancing and dere intimate. But databases can also be explicit, as some fans have managed to create online databases that explicitly list these elements. This, in a sense, recalls the hybrid between encyclopedia yeah, so basically, I've been saying that a lot. I should stop saying that word.
Catchphrase, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to condense this really long paper.
Yeah, which is also translated by 3 different people. Thank you for translating it to English.
True.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the original writer.
Right, so all the parts come from Evangelion, and they're just being moved around.
And some of the major parts are the dere archetypes.
Yeah, and the problem is, as anime fans, we've accepted it.
That it's like common in our series. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you go back through many shows and we tend to see it in everywhere. Like you mentioned last episode, the waifu icon, or putting a show, like having the icon represent the show without really understanding like the actual story or anything else. And really Polly said that's really interesting. Yeah, I agree. Although some of these words I'm like, what? But yes.
Yeah, let's I'll pull some more quotes out and then I'll try to like shape it, but that's the basic idea, is that we've deconstructed like a plot line that it used to be attempting to get us into a certain worldview, but because of postmodernism, because of the failure of society for us, it's instead focused on emotion and these interchangeable parts that we come to expect. Like we go into an anime expecting to see these things, and it's these parts that give us a society to be in, a community, I should say.
Okay, but by
So
knowing and understanding these parts,
the failure of society at large makes us seek out these communities, or makes us seek a community, and our community is our understanding of these character tropes and character parts, and how they,
So that's how like the title otaku comes to be, like people who understand and share these.
Yeah, when you self-identify yourself as an otaku or an anime fan, you are saying to someone else, I consume media that has the same parts that that you are also consuming in your media. And now we are friends. Yeah, that's
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That's, the modern day.
I mean, yeah, to bring it to like real life, if someone said I'm a weeb, I'll be like, oh, sick. Then you know all of these things that I know.
Yeah, of course.
Not all of the things, but you know,
you have an understanding.
You have the basic understanding, and you have
Knowledge.
A lexicon of the phrases and references that I'm going to make.
Naruto, yeah. Okay, but what about? Can I hit you with a question?
Yeah.
Or do you want to talk?
No, no. Hit me.
Okay. So what about shows that don't do this as much, though? Like, I know, I mean, this is, of course, doesn't apply to everything, but talking about how, like, for example, going to, like, a fantasy world or, like, an isekai or whatever, and that's kind of the escapism or, like, trying to do a different kind of world, then what about shows that kind of really do reference, like, political things? Or is that kind of different from this?
They're the exception, not the rule, I would say. And even then, the commercial world, the commercial success of these shows should tell you how accepted they are in the anime community. Like, do these shows do well?
Or do
Which
not?
show did well?
Yeah.
That really like broke out and was not trying to be a recombined part, like a Frankenstein.
Yeah. But I'd say shows can have these elements, of course.
They can.
And still be successful, but then other ones kind of fall into that icon trap.
You mean from our last podcast?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're not the same.
Well, no, that's the whole thing, is that we don't care anymore about new narratives. We don't care about the grand narrative, and we really don't. We're basically lying to ourselves that we care about the narrative of any anime that we watch. What we're really watching is for the characters.
So that's different than, like, say, Hamlet, because we don't care about Hamlet.
Well,
Sex for Hamlet.
I mean, the database that we all come to accept also comes with, like, plot twists and parts of plot that are really predictable.
Right.
The beach scene. How many times while talking to another weeb have you been like,
The
beach scene?
episode.
Yeah, the beach episode, and we all know what we're talking about, right? Smack the watermelon with the blindfold.
Fireworks.
A quiet talk on a pier. Buying drinks, fireworks, some bucket of water
for the fireworks.
For the fireworks. Maybe a volleyball match. Yeah. But there's a lot of things to do at the beach that don't involve these things, and yet when we say beach episode, we know exactly what we're talking about. Yeah,
I mean, some of it is, like, culturally part of the story.
You ever seen a metal detector in an anime? People get a metal detector and go on the beach and look for objects.
Oh,
I see that all the time at the beach.
I think they have done it in one or two shows, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's not part of our it's not part of our interchangeable parts of an episode, parts of a story that we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's take a look at this quote. As soon as characters are created, they're broken into elements, categorized, and registered into a database. If there is no appropriate classification, a new element will simply be added. In this sense, the originality of an original character only exists as a simulacrum. There used to be narrative behind work, but as the importance of narrative has declined, the characters have become more important in otaku culture. As a result, instead of narratives creating characters, it has become a general strategy to create character settings first. Oh, to create characters and settings first, followed by works and projects, including the stories afterward. Given this situation, the attractiveness of characters is more important than the degree of perfection of individual works, and the know how of enhancing their attractiveness has rapidly accumulated.
So too long didn't read?
The too long didn't read of that?
Yeah, it's saying so. It's saying that characters are more important than the world that they're put in or their story.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Even in terms of like producing anime, the first thing that happens is they make the character. Mm-hmm. They design the character. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know, Toho.
Well, that's a game.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they design the character first.
I guess so. But aren't there some where they design the world and then the character?
But see, that's another point that they make, is that before this whole market of like characters in the database, there used to be a really, really straightforward production of anime. Mm-hmm. It would be manga, anime, maybe game. Manga, anime, maybe game. And it would just follow this line all the way, all the time. But now, it's more open than that. Sometimes it starts as a game, mm-hmm. and then it becomes an anime. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it starts as, an anime, becomes a manga. And the reason that like this is important is that it shows we're not really there for the core narrative. Mm-hmm. We're there to see the characters in a new situation do something. Just the characters. It's like FGO was a game first, right? Specifically FGO.
Well, you mean
not just the Fate series, just FGO.
Yeah.
That was a game, mm-hmm. and then it became an anime.
Yeah.
A pretty bad anime, if you ask me.
Yeah, they haven't been adapted very well. It's also become a bunch of different spin-off mangas too, like a bunch of different ones. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean the way production has like separated and not become a straightforward line also shows that we're not interested in this in the main narrative anymore. We will accept the character in any medium, mm-hmm. and be fine with it. Not just any medium, but in a possibly different story, mm-hmm. and it won't affect like viewership, and it won't affect how we feel about it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking pertaining to FGO, whether or not that's like... Because I feel like in the original Fate series, what matters the most is the character. And that's why you have like 3 different routes for the main game, right? It's about different character like routes you can go down. But in FGO, it's kind of more about the world, in a sense. Except for the gacha part, which is about the character. Like, really heavily the characters that you get. Mm-hmm. But the rest of it, like... Whenever people are theorizing stuff, they're kind of also like, man, this Nasu-verse, because he's a writer, right? Developer of this world. And a lot of people talk about how that world functions a lot.
Yeah.
But because it's a gacha, I guess it is more character-driven. Mm-hmm. But like the narrative character, right, doesn't have a lot to say in that story. Right. It's really what happens to us.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I feel like that's slightly different. But then the main game or visual novel is all about the character.
True.
He's nodding. Okay.
I mean, I can't really say about that because I don't engage with those.
That's true.
I don't play it.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just thinking, also like, you know, like within Violet Evergarden, right? You kind of do have some character types. She kind of is a character type.
Hell yeah, you got character types. She's a Kuudere.
Yeah.
She's just another Kuudere repackaged.
Just as Sakusayu said, Tsunderes are very good, but not as much as Kuuderes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you said Kuuderes twice.
Tsundere, I said first. Did I say it first? Well, the quote is there.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that one is... I guess because that one is like a emotional journey more than like the world and the story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So...
Any other thoughts or quotes?
Well, one last thing that I wanted to talk about is there was this really interesting sentence in the paper that said, uh, "We're not we're not seeking the narrative dynamism of old. So the grand worldview that where we can take a message from the story and apply it to our real world. But we're looking for a formula that doesn't have a worldview or a message that effectively manipulates emotion." So before in old films and stuff, emotion was the way to impart a worldview. But now the end goal is to impart emotion at all.
I'm not sure if I agree.
Right? That's fine. Tell me why you disagree.
So it's saying that the point is to show. Wait, so I gotta think this through. So showing emotion via like the characters in the story, and not so much like.
No, it has nothing to do with characters. It's just the way stories are, or it's the reason that we take in these stories.
By focusing on the character,
emotion, emotional impact. That's it.
Right. So say like Carol and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of world building that's very like political and
it does.
times.
It does.
But because it's focusing on like their story, their emotions, their music, and their journey, that's how it's telling us the world building via characters.
No, something that it's not telling us about the world building. It's telling us a world view, how to see the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Like after you watch Carol and Tuesday, then you go into life, or you go back into your real life thinking music is really important, right? Mm-hmm. For impacting change. Mm-hmm. And you know, Carol and Tuesday is that's a tricky one for this paper, because I think it does impart a worldview.
Yeah, I think it does.
But I think in general, it's hella true that anime doesn't try to do this. Like, let's look at what did we talk about earlier? The FGO anime.
Yeah.
We watched the whole thing. We got this really emotional part where she dies, or where a bunch of characters die or sacrifice themselves for the greater good, and like humanity's down to like what, 250 people.
Yeah.
And after watching it, I don't think I got a worldview or something of value other than the same bullshit that you get about friends being powerful.
It was a pretty shitty adaptation.
Yeah, like you have to think about it like that. It's not trying to give you a unique worldview at all that you can take out of the story and be like, oh, this is useful for living or understanding life. Yeah. So that's the point. That's the point it's trying to make, is that the shows, by using recreatable characters, deliver emotional impact, but they don't try to tell you how to live your life, or they don't try to tell you something worth seeing or worth using in the real world.
Okay, I can kind of see that. Like a lot more with that one.
Like sometimes you really, really have to dig to find something useful. You know, I mean, I'm sure you can extrapolate something useful from every show, but that wouldn't mean that that's its goal in any way.
Right.
You're actively looking for a message in the show, but that wasn't its aim, and that's not what it sought out to do.
Like I don't know why this comes to mind, that the camping one, Yuru Camp.
Yuru Camp. What about it?
Like, there's not like a set story. I mean, I don't think that's their goal. I mean, did I watch all of it? I can't remember, but it's just kind of like, what is it? That trope? What we say? Not trope. The genre. Cute girls having fun, or something.
Cute
like
girls
that.
having fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a relaxing kind of show, and like some cute characters doing things, but I guess that one's kind of more of an advertisement than like it was like a story.
Yeah. Well, advertisement for what?
I don't know, nature, camping.
Nature, camping. Advertisement for something that's
cute
free.
Cute girls doing cute things. Thank you.
Cute girls doing cute things.
Like,
that's it.
Two cutes. I'm missing one. Well, what about like I don't know. Do you think that a change in the genre slightly coming back? For example, everything Trigger does seems to be slightly like not slightly, kind of obviously political. But I know that's not the main like draw of Trigger, but that's kind of all their stories are like focusing on that, and they're pretty popular.
Yeah, but even then, that's not something, or it's showing you something political, but it's showing you something so so hackney.
Okay.
In politics, there's clearly a corrupt president. Like he must be stopped. It's just another way to tell that same shit.
Okay, so it's like more like a plot device than like a thing.
Yeah, it's more like let's reskin
Another
the big
anime.
bad, and let's make it something everybody can understand. What can everybody understand? Incredibly corrupt politicians.
I wish I could now. I wish
Right?
I could.
I mean, look at Persona 5. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's so deep about about politics." And it's just some bald fuck that tried to rape
really,
a girl.
Really obviously bad.
Yeah, it's like so obviously bad that of course it's not trying to tell you anything useful. What is it trying to tell you? Rapists are bad? There are bad people in the world? That's not imparting a worldview. That's stating the obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So should we just draw this back to any deredere archetypes? Do you think it's bad that we've gone this far?
It's an effect.
Okay, so not good or bad.
Good or bad in what sense? Like good for storytelling, good for the economy.
I guess economy's different.
I mean, the anime industry is like super big, so it's good for the economy.
I guess
to be this way because we're a consumer society.
I mean, didn't like what was it after Evangelion that like Akihabara really changed into the anime like what do you say place hub hub that it is rather than like a simple like electronics center.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, even Violet Evergarden has a lot of archetypes.
Hell yeah, it does.
It feels so different than like some other show. But
that's true. But Violet Evergarden, like people look at that character and they think like entirely original, but not true at all. You can see the parts in action there. You can see like the weird aloof the weird aloofness. Yeah, you can see the coup. You can see the dere.
Really slowly getting to that dere.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, just look at her hairstyle. That's not an original hairstyle.
Dang. Yeah, I know. It takes a lot of effort to braid it up.
She looks like a freaking FGO character. She looks like a fake character.
You mean she looks like a saber face?
Yeah, she's a saber face.
No, now it's a Betty face. But actually, Betty is a saber face too.
She's an aloof saber face.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say.
And she's really good at emotional delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess yeah.
Do you have any takeaways from the show, like how you're supposed to act as a person or what you're supposed to do?
I guess a little bit. I mean, it's all about writing. I mean, that in terms is like all about communication, right? Like the whole show is about conveying emotions through words, and like when you're not there to show your actions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think all of writing is conveying emotion or just emotion.
No, not all of writing.
Once again, writing is like worldview.
Memes. Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's like the similarity between writing fiction and writing a newspaper article, right? You're trying to illuminate someone's point of view, even if it's just purely factual, or if it's some kind of a deeper emotional understanding of how to interact with people or how to feel about something. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, Violet Evergarden does a really good job, though.
Yeah.
But it's still conveying parts of what we're talking about here. This interchangeable parts.
I mean, I didn't think about it that much before, but like like her coworker who's like Tsundere kind of. Like, she was really obvious, and some of the other ones are too.
Totally. I mean, she has a big boobed boss who's like a badass lady.
Yeah, I guess that's
totally not seen before. Yeah. I mean, that shit's in Bleach.
Not really, actually.
What?
They're not bosses.
What about that captain lady?
What captain lady?
It's like this lady that's a captain.
No, that's really descriptive.
All right.
But okay.
I don't know enough about Bleach, but
Yeah,
that's
you
also
don't.
Naruto.
Okay, yeah, in
Tsundere.
Naruto. Yeah. Naruto. Did I
The
say it wrong?
cat. What?
I was talking about Yoriichi. She's not. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Could be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's this conversation between us and chat is exactly the point.
Mm-hmm.
Is that there are elements that you can trace between shows that you can line up, and your connection to people, like your social connection to people, is based on this understanding of the parts. And so when two people are like, "Oh, this character is like this character," that's like the summation of it.
Yeah.
Is that we're getting social benefits, we're getting emotional benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not the right social benefits,
Benefits.
America. But
As like benefits, we
Yeah.
have benefits.
but we're getting
dental.
we're getting social, dental,
Amazing.
10 days paid, 10 paid days off.
Maternity leave. That's more
Maternity
than like
leave?
1 month.
Yeah.
Paternity
Annie's giving
leave?
us everything.
Wow, amazing.
But yeah, seeing two people be able to do that is like the summation of this paper.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, sounds like a good paper. I feel like we kind of went away from our archetypes topic though.
Yeah, to bring it all back, this whole like theoretical framework, it's asking like, why do deres exist? Why are there so many fucking tsunderes?
Because they make money.
That's it. Yeah, they make money. We like them.
That kind of sucks.
And they the elements of these characters, they're still enough to give us emotional deliverance when we ask for it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes. Yeah, when it's done well.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of base deres that like I don't care about, or like I don't know, you know. And there's only specific moments that it matters, right? Like in Toradora.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, that makes sense. It's kind of like, oh god, when like, I'm sorry, like 10-year-olds start writing their first fan fiction, and all they do is write about like the dere, predict about like, you know, this character goes, no, I don't like you. Oh wait, come back.
Yes.
And like that's all they focus on, and I'm like, that's not good. You got to get more into it. Okay, so kind of saying that it's all right to have these archetypes, of course, and there's different ways to go about it.
I mean, there's no right or wrong about it. It's just it's like
it's just there. I guess.
Yeah, it's there.
It's there. We have it.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, we've got tsunderes.
Yeah, for better or for worse, we have tsunderes. That's the perfect ribbon to this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We have tsunderes.
Like, I don't know what's going on. All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what kind of dere are you?
What kind of dere am I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're more fit to answer that.
Me?
Yeah.
No, you answer.
You're a tsundere, for sure.
What?
You're
I'm
a tsundere.
Damn, I was gonna say I was like a dandere or something.
No.
I'm an airhead. Then my coworker learned the word airhead, and she kept calling me that.
The definition, or part of the definition of tsundere, is not just like rejecting someone else's like affection for a little bit.
What they seem like.
It also has to do with a hierarchy.
A hierarchy?
Yes, has to be a hierarchy. Like, in a tsundere relationship, there always has to be moments where they switch from being the superior to the inferior, in a certain combination or in a certain situation.
That sucks.
Like, for example, getting a tsundere
getting help
has
or
the high.
something?
Yeah, a tsundere has the higher position when they're talking and they deny a person's like, I love you. They're like, you know, just blah blah blah. And then they become the lower position when they get hugged and they have to become dere. That's like our expectation of a tsundere.
That sucks.
That does suck.
That's basically all the ones that like are snooty, like the kamidere, or not kami, the himedere.
Kamidere. You mean Yagami light?
he becomes normal plebe when he gets loved. Yeah. No, or like the princess ones that are like, treat me like royalty or something like that. And I bet they're like, no, I want to be like your number one inside. That's Airheads instead of Sour Patch Kids. You're right. I am the Airhead candy. It's always sweet.
Are you?
Ouch. Dang.
You're like a reverse Sour Patch Kid.
Reverse?
You're sweet on the outside and become sour.
What? Please tell me that's wrong.
Listen.
Damn.
We've been together for 3 years.
That sucks. Just kidding.
And you have a sweet side that lasts like an extremely long time. But sometimes you just snap, and sometimes you just become kind of mean.
Dang, savage. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you're like a Dere
Here-
soon.
the new archetype.
Yeah,
Here I was gonna say you were. Where would you be? You'd probably be closer to like deredere, very extrovert.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What did you guys say about yourselves? What kind of dare are you?
What kind of Dere are you?
Are you? Take our quiz now for the personality test. Nah, this so when I
Such a
looked
long jingle.
No, when I looked up, I was trying to look up more stuff, right? And all I got were like, take our dare personality test. I was like, no. But it's really hard to find anything.
What was that website with
Academic.
like random like search? Like you just click a button and it gives you a random like
The Shindan Maker?
Shindan Maker. Yeah,
Yeah, but that one changes like every day, you know? That one doesn't really count for this.
I guess not.
Not for like a personality test. Mm-hmm. But dang, we went really deep into this. Sorry guys, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in there while I
Your
tried
degree,
to explain this paper.
Your degree is really showing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My degree is not showing.
Well, let's talk about something that we can use your degree on next time.
I don't know. My degree, get a degree, you know? I barely passed through.
You got it.
I got
You
it.
got the
yeah.
paper.
That's true. I passed. No, but I feel like mine's kind of a sensitive topic more than like other stuff.
You don't think this was a sensitive topic? You don't think I broke the hearts of many anime fans out there?
That's true.
Telling them that they like freaking processed cheese.
Shit.
They like craft singles.
You did. You kind of did break the reality for me when I was thinking about Violet Evergarden, and another series I really enjoyed and made me realize that they're really similar.
Which
and
one?
The Natsume Yujin show. Natsume's Book of Friends.
Oh.
That's so popular in Japan too. Because it has the same kind of like forced, distant character who brings out a ton of emotion. And it's that series is kind of slow, but it has a lot of emotion to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a slow build up, but I really enjoy that. And then I realized, oh, they're the same. It makes me kind of sad. Like, of course they're different, but there's like a slight snap or crack in the mirror now. Like, you ruined for me. But that's okay, you know? I mean, these kind of academic things are like, that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, I mean, like the theoretical underpinnings of anime shouldn't
Destroy your
yeah,
world.
shouldn't make anime any worse for you. Like, I enjoy it because this is what I studied in college. This is like I like the
You got your
I like
degree
the
in
theory.
anime?
No,
kidding.
but I did take anime class.
Did I?
Anime film.
No, I didn't.
Film
actually.
160.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that class?
4-unit core. Hell yeah, I recommend that class. 1 week viewings or weekly viewings, and then like a day of lecture about fucking anime. That's awesome.
I remember you like dissing a week of it of like Evangelion or something.
What?
I remember you dissing it. Oh, one specific
I dissed
week.
it once, yeah. I
Yeah.
dissed it a lot.
Mm-hmm. But the Pokemon decal, you gotta take that.
Wait, the best thing about that anime film class was that the professors hated each other. It was
That's
it was 2 professors for the class.
Like drama in the background.
Yeah, it was 2 professors for the class. One guy was like super into mecha, and
Oh no.
you know, was like a pretty
Like
hard boiled
Gundam guy.
like otaku guy. And the second professor was like just like this lady who was really interested in Japan, but she was more like a sociology kind of major, or she was more like a sociology based person, and she wanted to talk about like communities and all that. And
Yeah, my stuff.
watching them like fight over like, are we gonna talk about anime or are we gonna talk about the people who like anime? And eventually, like, it was so obvious they hated each other. They didn't even come in on the same days anymore.
Wow.
They used to come in together like every single day, and then at the end it was like, oh, it's him. Oh, so she's not coming today.
Damn. I mean, I'm glad they probably worked it out, but I feel like you would be the guy, that professor, the mecha one, and I would be the other one.
Yeah.
I
in
mean,
a way. In a sense.
In a sense, like I want to make sure it's somewhat academic and you can consider the society of it.
No,
yeah.
I mean it's not that he wasn't academic, it's that their focuses were like,
different
I want to
focus,
look at the social impacts. I want to look at hikikomori. I want to look at how otakus work in society.
Yeah.
And the other one was like, I want to talk about animation techniques, how anime works.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, I'm both very academic.
Yeah, of course, but different points. But I really like the other points.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of why I studied. So.
Yeah, but that was the class that made me like seriously think of anime in like not in like a blindly obsessed kind, not in a blindly watching anime kind of way. It really actually opened my eyes to like animation processes and how anime affects people, or how anime is made, how anime affects real people, like real topics in life, like the economy, like what do you call that?
The what?
The cultural movement around the world. You know, like how things start in like one country and like spread to other countries through influence. I don't know what the word is, but
international influence, global.
A transnationality. I think that's what it's called.
That's so academic.
Yes, transnationality. How things move between one nation to another.
That's true.
Such as media.
Yeah.
Transnational consumption. Let's go.
Roly poly.
Out here with the academics. We're not alone. We know what transnational consumption is.
Oh dear.
I'm an anthro major. Let's go. Oh yeah.
I'm a cultural geography major, but my major doesn't mean anything.
That sounds pretty transnational to me.
Yeah, because why is my major not under the social sciences when we literally call ourselves the main social science major?
Rough.
I was like, we're not on the list? What happened? I mean, my major was split into two, but like, I was really heartbroken that there was a list of like special classes or support for your major, and mine wasn't there, and I was like insulted really deeply.
Pour one out.
All right. Well, how should we finish up today's podcast?
Right. Well, today was a
really good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. We went kind of academic today, but that's fun in its own way too.
Yeah. You can let us know as we're closing up, or when the YouTube video goes out. You know, let us know in the comments, like, what do you think about all the stuff we just spewed out?
Does it make sense?
Does it make sense? Do you accept it, or is it not necessarily true? Are there exceptions that you want to bring up?
Do you have your own examples that you can bring up, like my Sour Patch Kids, or other shows that really, what shows, like I said, were like processed cheese. Damn cheese.
Yeah, craft.
Cheese, craft.
We should call trash like anime shows. We should call them craft. This is craft American cheese product.
What would be the OG cheese? Italian brie or something?
OG cheese.
Goat cheese.
Goat
Blue
cheese. Blue cheese.
Blue cheese and craft.
What's the blue cheese of anime?
Evangelion. Evangelion is the blue cheese.
No, Evangelion's like mozzarella.
Mozzarella? Yeah. That's in the middle? Mozzarella's bomb.
Yeah, but mozzarella,
like Tezuka?
I mean, everybody has mozzarella.
I don't even know what the OG anime would be. Like the not Ultraman. The Robot Boy one.
Well, there's 3 distinct anime generations.
Yeah.
And they're classified by before the 2000s, there are three generations of like people who watched anime.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first generation, they're based on people who watched like the really early mecha. Like Gundam is like that is an original.
Damn, I didn't know
That is
Gundam
one
was
of the
that.
original.
Astro Boy. Thank
Astro
you.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah, by Tezuka something.
Yes,
By
yes.
Tezuka. Who also got his stuff ripped off by Disney. Did you know that?
I believe it.
They stole Lion King from him almost panel by panel.
I believe it.
That sucks. Which also was Hamlet. Wow. Here we go around the circle.
The circle of life.
Mm-hmm. Copyright. That sucks. All right.
We activate the copyright if our singing.
No, I
enough.
meant like they really got to copyright the fact that like they stole Lion King from him.
Yeah.
Which was also kind of based on Hamlet. Anyways. So there's that early mecha one, and then
there's people who watch the mecha. There's the people in between, who were the paper actually references them by how old they were when Evangelion came out. So the first generation was like already past their 20s when Evangelion came out, and then the second gen were middle schoolers and high schoolers who were the main people who watched Evangelion. That's the second gen. And the third gen is anyone after kids like who were in elementary school when Evangelion came out, so they didn't watch it. Or like, you know,
so like past even after Evangelion.
Yeah, post Evangelionism. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that's like the classical way of looking at it. I mean, there's a ton of ways to look at it now. I mean, there's been another 30 years of anime history that.
And I kind of think like before and after 2000.
Before and after 2000.
Well, it's because that's like when I started watching it, right? So, like before 2000, I'm like, that's
even
old.
Even then, there's like some super old 2000 stuff that it's like.
You're right.
I can't imagine everybody in our group to have watched it, or anybody in our age group to have watched it.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you like the oldies.
Didn't Dot Hack come out after 2000?
Oh, I'm not sure actually. I mean, yeah, maybe that's why it's because my brother knew this show, so I know about it. Let's see. It came out in
2002.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. So
the first one. That's a lot.
Dot Hack is like 2002, super early 2000s, and even then, I barely know about it. You know about it pretty well, or somewhat at least.
I mean, I got into it later. Yeah,
you got into it, but I wouldn't.
Very few of our generation would like know it.
I would never use post 2000, pre 2000 as like a way to talk about different anime. That's so hard. I'd say that's really hard to do.
I guess I just think it's like it's simple. It's that 1 year.
Let's make it easy. Pre Naruto. Mid Naruto, post Naruto, and Boruto.
We're in this terrible Boruto generation.
Yeah, we're in the Boruto
generation. And then there was a Naruto
petition to start calling Naruto pre-Boruto.
Shit. Just like last episode, what would you say? You're like, oh, it's Sarada's mom. And you're like, excuse me? You mean Sakura's daughter?
Yeah, one of the characters in Boruto like saw Sakura and they were like, oh, it's Sarada's mom. And I imagine Sakura being like, excuse me, Sarada's my daughter. You mean Sakura's daughter?
No, Sakura's daughters. Wait, no.
No.
Oh, because
as in like you shouldn't be referencing me, Sakura, as Sarada's mom. You should be referencing Sarada as Sakura's daughter. How dare you? Like Boruto's dad.
Yeah.
Versus Naruto's son.
Oh, that gap. All right. Anything else? I think that's pretty good for today. We went a little overtime than I expected to.
That's not so bad. All right, I think that should wrap it up. Follow us on social media.
Right, so our social media is linked on our link tree. If you feel free to join any of them. We have our Twitter.
How do we get to the link tree?
You click on it from our profile description.
On Twitch?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I put it up there.
All right, well, click on the link tree in our Twitch description.
Yes. Otherwise, we have our Twitter. I have an Instagram, a Facebook. a Discord.
Yes.
Anything else? I think that's about it.
A YouTube.
YouTube, right.
Yeah, our episodes go up on YouTube usually the same night as we stream it. I just fix the audio a little bit, do some
minor
post,
changes.
do some post. Yeah, I do some post, and then it goes up on YouTube, so you can check it out then as well.
Well, should we decide our next topic?
Yes.
Or if you guys have any suggestions, we can add it to our list. Oh, you didn't fix our the bar.
The bar?
The bar.
Oh yeah, I'll fix that later.
You haven't been updating it. All right, yeah, sure.
Also, we didn't talk about today's special at all. We didn't. Mirai Nikki.
Oh yeah.
We barely talked about.
Well, we talked about the Yandere, and she's the. You talked about it. You talked about the Yandere for a while.
Let us know in the comments. Do you like Mirai Nikki?
No, actually, I haven't seen it. So
no, it's mediocre.
It's mediocre. It kind of is.
Sick opening though.
I don't know. I got tired of everyone using it in A and Bs, but I didn't know what it was about. And then I read the wiki, and I was kind of disappointed.
OP1 at least. Its OP was a banger. Yeah, damn right. I read the manga. It was okay. There's a manga? Wow.
I knew that.
Wow. Was it before or after the anime?
Probably before, I'm guessing. It's based on the manga.
It's based on the manga? Before. Ah, dang.
Future Diary.
Dang, now I'm a fake fan.
You always
just kidding.
Oh!
Yep.
Yep.
I guess I could read it.
2010. Oh, all right. So we have our list on our Google Doc. What should we talk about?
I think I picked the last one, so you should pick.
Do we want something that's a nice, simple light roast? Well, was today's
today was kind of medium roast because I referenced a
lot of academic
paper. Yeah.
But what would a dark roast be? More like
a dark roast is like stuff that will probably anger some people.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, a little like,
or just like
be warned.
Just be.
We're gonna roast the shit out of your favorite show.
Or it's gonna be like, kind of like today, except
more.
Talking specifically about another paper, and that could even be like one person.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
In case we haven't mentioned it, we have our light, medium, dark for different kind of topics, genres.
Yeah, so our roast level is like the level the level of content that we're going to talk about. Like our last 4 episodes were like light roasts where we
sometimes we went a little medium, a little dark, but not that much.
Light roast is like the main topic is like pretty simple, straightforward. We're going to talk about our favorite anime. It's going to be, just good fun. Medium roast is like we specifically want to talk about a trend or like something about anime that would be a little more academic, maybe a little more analytical, and yeah. And then dark roast is like we're going deep. Deep dark Ryan.
I don't know what to pick for this one. On Saturday, was it October 3rd in our time zone? Let's see. Something light or medium? Let's not go dark yet.
Just pick.
Just pick. Well, I wanted to talk about Rivals, actually.
Oh yeah, okay.
Would that be
That's
medium?
light roast.
That's light. All right. You're not typing anything, are you?
Should I
you
put
are.
Rivals in anime or anime rivals?
Senpais.
Senpais.
That's not. I mean, well, that's not a bad idea. Senpais.
We could put that in there. Best senpai, worst senpai.
Dang, was the worst senpai.
The theoretical underpinnings of what a senpai means.
And a kohai.
In a diegetic.
What?
Nothing. You ready?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about Rivals next week.
Yeah, so
or later this week.
Yeah, next week's topic, or not next week. This Saturday's topic is Rivals in anime.
I've been thinking about it lately. And
Kaiba.
It could be Kaiba.
Yugi.
It's gonna be a main feature, I suppose.
The main feature.
Well, maybe to start us off, but I want to talk about it in a broad.
Yeah,
general.
Actually, as a small preview, I have some beef with you about Rivals.
Well, yeah, you do.
I have some beef with you.
You do.
Here's my.
What?
here's what here's what I want to talk about
All
next
right, this is the
episode.
preface.
Okay,
our
there's a little
episode
preface.
preview.
Preface.
Oh wow.
Our little episode
know
preface.
that.
Pokemon rivals. I think rivals in Pokemon games are better when they're mean. Like, for example,
Gen 1, Gen 2.
1. Blue,
Gen 2.
Gary.
Or green.
Green, yes. I love mean rivals. When I played Sword and Shield, I was so sad for Hop. I was like, bro, you're so nice to me. I don't feel good kicking your ass every single time I beat a gym.
That's true.
Same with
really bad.
How in the seventh gen, I was like, bruh, can we just be friends and eat donuts? Bede, yeah, that's my point. I like Bede. I like Bede because it feels good to beat him. So he's a good rival. That's what a rival should be. What's your thought?
You're going too far into the episode.
Tell me.
I'm gonna spoil the episode.
No. You. What do you think? Because you like Hop.
I like Hop, but that doesn't mean I like him as a rival. But I think that they don't have to be mean to be a good rival. But I guess that's what we're gonna talk about.
Maybe
gonna
not.
roast me.
I mean, it's not exactly mean. Like, okay, Blue's kind of mean, but
he's mean.
Bede's just kind of blunt.
He's kind of a jerk.
He's kind of a jerk.
He is a jerk.
Yeah, that's for me. That's the preferred rival mode.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll talk about this more and other kinds of rivals, different genres. Next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
Next episode.
Yeah. Hope to see you there.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. Hope you guys had a good time. Night.
All right. Have a good one. Bye bye.